build sustainability during COVID and as it is post-COVID. Holly and I have put together this presentation, and thank you again, East Gwillimbury Chamber of Commerce. Thank you, Lauren, for allowing us to present this to everybody.
You're very welcome.
So my name is Miriam Golovgir, and I am the Chief Amazement Officer of Digital Marketing Experts. That is a title that I came up with. I'm very happy with it. I've been in the industry for 17 years. I'm more on the technical side of things, more on how to come up with strategies that are more code-driven and more result-oriented. And I've worked with many organizations in the past. I've been in the telecom, e-commerce. I've worked with finance and people in the finance world. And our goal has always been to create something that's sustainable and it works long-term. And this strategy works whether you have a $5 budget or a $10,000 budget. So our expertise are mostly in social media marketing strategies. We work with Holly and the team, and we piggyback off of each other for social media marketing. We do web development, search engine optimization, and search engine marketing, and online advertising and video marketing. So today we're going to be talking about, but if you guys have any questions, feel free to contact me. My contact information is in the document. The best way to reach me is via phone. My phone is always ringing, and I always make sure I don't stop myself from giving as much information as possible to people if they need it. So feel free to call me if you have any questions. So today we're going to talk about tools. These tools will help you come up with, whether it's content or help you come up with strategies, or use it because you don't know how to build videos or images, or if you need a bank of images, or if you just need to come up with some sort of analytics around the products that or services that you provide. So we're going to start with Feedly. This is one of my favorite tools. It's a content curation tool. And it allows you to collect and read content from your favorite blogs. Now, in my industry, I'm all about what's happening with every industry out there. And that means for me, I have to know what's happening in the tech industry, what's happening with finance, real estate, at the moment, trustees and insolvency industry, just so that we can help our clients with brand new content or what's in trend. And Feedly helps you out. So they have various categories that you can go through, whether you're looking for tech or if you're looking for, decoration, food, whatever field you're in. And if you're looking content, these guys have a variety of content that's available, and you can use their social sharing as well. One of my favorite tools, as I said, I'm always on the technical side of things. So I look at your website and I see, okay, well, you have this beautiful website. It looks fantastic. You have a great social presence, but is your language resonating with your clientele? Are you in front of them because you have a pretty site, or because you are a functioning website to them? And that comes with the words that you use to describe your business and the words that people use to search for your business. We have a client who I absolutely love what they do. They come in and they clean your house post renovations and or post when you're about to move out, and they clean everything. They're wonderful people. He spent thousands of dollars in creating this beautiful functioning website, and he was getting 5 to 10 clicks on his website a month. And he couldn't understand, because his business is such a beautiful, it's a great business, and the site's beautifully done. So, but why isn't it not working? And when we went through the website, we realized none of the words that me and you would use to hire this person was on their website. And all the keywords that they had were very technical and very heavy, where people wouldn't understand. If it's about a vacuum cleaner, nobody cares about a vacuum cleaner if you're a cleaning company. They care about what the services you provide. So Keyword Planner, Google Keyword Planner is an amazing tool. What it does is it allows you to put in the name of your business and what's that one word that's your moneymaker. So let's say for me, it would be how to optimize my website. So if that's my moneymaker, that's the word that I use. If I put that in the keyword idea, what it does is it spits back a bunch of suggestions for keywords that you can use to optimize your website and to put in the right words, because Google has every information about your end users and they know how they search to get to you. So Keyword Planner is a fantastic tool. The way you access it is you have to have a Google Ads account, and you don't have to necessarily spend any money to use it. You can set up a Google Ads account, which is your AdWords, and then go in and use their Keyword Planner. It's under the tools section. The next tool I wanted to talk to you guys about is the ProProfs Survey Maker. Survey makers are, there's a lot of them out there. You don't have to stick with one. You can use whichever that's more appealing to you. This one's very functional. So what it does is it creates surveys and forms. I don't know if you guys noticed, but on social media, one of the biggest trends right now is people asking questions like, is it safe to go back to work? Do you feel safe at post-COVID to go back to work? And there's a lot of questions and polls that are happening online. The ProProf Survey Maker allows you to create those surveys and post them on your website, or create a pop-up, or create them as an email that you send out to your client to kind of find out what they want and what they need. Most of us have a pocketbook, a contact book filled with people. We have email lists from all of our clients. So they're the best people to get the most amount of information out of, because then we know how to improve our business. So setting out surveys and getting them to fill forms for you, if you have a good relationship with your clients, is a great idea. It also allows you to create quizzes, tests, and assessments. I love quizzes. So one of our clients, we build a quiz on their website. They're very information heavy site. They have a very information heavy site, which means it's really hard to get people to stay on their site for a long period of time and read the content they have. But when we created the quiz and we put the quiz on their homepage, it's so interactive that people stick around. And the longer people stick around on your website, more they would read. More they would read, the chances of them connecting with you is much higher. You can also create pop-ups, and I like pop-ups. Most of our clients right now, this past 6 weeks to 8 weeks, have asked us to set up pop-ups on their website because they don't want to alter the look of their website, but they have a message. So they set up a pop-up and it says, we're closed up until, first week of June. Feel free to connect with us at this address or call us. Pop-ups are really good, and you can create really professionally done, beautiful pop-ups with ProProfs. One of the other things about ProProfs is that it's search engine optimizable and it's search engine optimized friendly, which means Google and all the other search engines like them. ConvertKit is another, it's another email marketing tool. So there's tons of them out there. There is Lamini, Constant Contact, GetResponse, MailChimp. Now you have ConvertContact. Why is this different than the other ones? It really isn't. They all serve the same purpose, but some of them will end your email address into spam boxes because they're not regulated. They don't do this unsubscribe properly. They don't have an opt-out proper form set up. So because they're just there to send out tons of emails, your email ends up in their spam, in other people's spam box. But with ConvertKit, one of the things is that it allows you to have a proper unsubscribe list. It allows you to create opt-in and opt-out forms, whether they want to be part of your mailing list or not. And it gives you good reports where it's very comprehensive. You can see how many people have opened it, what's the click-through rate. It allows you to create very pretty sign-up pages if you want to set up landing pages with sign-up forms. This is a really good tool to use.
Miriam, someone had a question about the last tool. Can that one replace SurveyMonkey?
This one, the ProProfs?
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't read the, okay. Of course, every single one of these can replace each other. So SurveyMonkey The only thing about all of them is if they've been in the business longer, their name is grandfathered. So these guys been in the market, I think, for about 4 or 5 years, and SurveyMonkey's been around for a very long time. These guys are as good as SurveyMonkey, and they will serve the purpose, but a lot more people tend to see the name SurveyMonkey and be like, I know what that is. However, it's not, I mean, if you want to use this one, it's another good one as well. Oh, good. I'm glad you needed it. This is working for you. I have a lot more. So, I mean, like, if you want, stick through the whole presentation. There's so much more that you can learn from Aditi. So let's go to Lumen 5. So this is another good tool. So we use Adobe Premiere to edit all of our videos. So we create professional videos for our clients, but we use the top of the line editing tool because the person that's doing the job, he's a professional. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to create frames, how to do the background, how to do the templates. You and I, we may or may not be really good at this. So what's a better tool to use? Well, I like Lumen 5 because it's super easy. It's just drag and drop, and you create pretty text box that with really pretty fonts that you can put on your videos. And it spits back videos in different sizes. So you can have it for your Instagram, for your Facebook, for your website. You can embed it into your website. When it spits back the video, one of the things that I like is that once the video is encoded and it's ready, it's not really heavy. Even though it has high quality, it's not a heavy video. So some people, they don't have to necessarily put it on YouTube and then get back to their website. They can just upload it to their website and use it. So it's a really good tool. It has the playback feature. And what I really like about it is that if you put your video on YouTube and you don't know how to do the embed coding properly, whenever you stop your video, it gives you all the related videos at the bottom. And sometimes some of your competitors' videos could be at the bottom, and the person could leave your website and go and watch their video. Whereas with this one, when you embed it, it looks clean, sleek, and it just has your video on it. It doesn't have any related videos or anything in it. It's a really good tool to use. Amazing. Brand24 is one of my favorite tools. I've been telling a lot of my clients to use it, especially this past couple of weeks. We've had multiple incidents happening with multiple clients, and this tool actually saved them. So Brand24, what it does is it allows you to check your online reputation. And you can track and monitor keywords that are related to your business, and you can see what's being said about you out there. So we had a client who, not on purpose, wanted to promote their gift cards that they have and that they can come to your house to host events at your place instead of you going to them to host their event. And there was a lot of backlash about it because people were like, well, you're profiting from, a pretty downtime, and instead of worrying about your business, worry about people. And there was a couple of comments that were happening on different social media groups about them. And Brand24 picked it up. And the person had no idea this is happening. They thought they're just starting, promoting their business and it's working for them. They didn't know that there was a backlash about what they were saying. So it's good to have Brand24 set up on your business so you can see what's being said about you. The other issue is that, so another example is one of our other clients, they had a judgment against them. And they're a massive real estate brokerage, and they didn't know that the judgment was actually posted online as well. And what was happening is this tool picked it up, and they could see that when you put in the company's name, the second link was the judgment that was placed against them, and they were unaware of it. So make sure that you take advantage of this tool. It's a really good tool. And it actually gives you a lot of idea of what people are actually saying about you. And you can use that information to market yourself more effectively as well. Aditi, this is another tool that you can use. It's called Emma. It's an email marketing tool that works for anybody that's looking to create a very pretty email that goes out. They have really nice templates. It's very, for those that are in industries that we're very cut and dry. We're a bunch of programmers, so everything to us is cut and dry. But someone like Holly, she likes things to look super pretty. And I actually like Holly to do things for me because she makes them look really, really, really pretty. And like, for example, this presentation, she made it look pretty. But for us, we don't see pretty, and a lot of people do. So this is a really good tool to use because they have really pretty templates. They have really pretty forms that you can create. One of the other things that I like about Emma, and I actually like about ProProfs, is that their client care, the chat box, is an actual person, and you can talk to them and they can guide you through steps on how to do it. So take advantage of that. I'm a big fan of Unbounce. Unbounce allows you to create landing pages. Why does that matter? Well, so let's say that you're a real estate agent and you have you work for Remax and you have that one Remax massive platform website that it's that universal Remax site that everybody uses. Well, your identity will get lost in between every other agent that's on their site, and you want to have your own identity. So you need your own website. Well, you can have a tiny little website for yourself, but then you can't constantly go in and alter things on your website, because if you don't know how to do it, it's going to cost you a lot. Well, with Unbound, it allows you to create landing pages. So let's say you are selling a property in Schaumburg and you want a particular landing page for that property. So you can set up a landing page for that property with the form, and allows you to connect with the agent, put a button on it where they can call the agent directly, or allows them to fill up a form if they're interested in the product. If there's a map, if there's a video, if there's an image, it allows you to put everything in there. It's super easy and user-friendly. All the buttons are on the left side, and you can just drag and drop what you want to put in there. And the other thing that it does is it generates leads for you. So at the end of the month, if you might have missed a couple of emails that you didn't get, you can go back and read and see how many people have actually filled up your form, and collect that email and send them an email using any of the email tools that we showed you. The next product is Vimeo. So there's Vimeo, there's Dailymotion, and then there's YouTube. They're all the same. YouTube obviously has a lot more people and they have tons more tools available to them. But Vimeo is actually not a bad tool at all. It's very popular in Asia and in Europe, mainly because some countries in Asia don't even allow Google products. Google products are blocked. So Vimeo, if you have international clients, is another good tool. Another thing about Vimeo that makes it really cool is that when you embed a video from Vimeo into your website, it doesn't have all the related videos like you have with YouTube. That bothers me. It really bothers me that it does that, mainly because like you see all the competitors at the bottom and it doesn't look sleek and clean. The other thing is that you can set it up where you don't see any ads off of your videos. Or if you like, you can set it vice versa, that you can see tons of ads and you can actually make money from it just like you can with YouTube. There we go. So Landscape is another tool that's created by Sprout Social. And what it does is it allows you to create landing pages. It allows you to put up like just a big picture in there, or put videos, and use it it has so many usage to it that you can use it for your social media. You can use it as a landing page. You can, if you added more pages into it, you can do it like a tiny website off of it. So it's a really cool tool. It has tons of stock photos that you can use. And it allows you to kind of recreate let's say you have an image on your social and it doesn't fit. You can bring it here and resize it, and that it will make it fit. Visually is another tool for people that don't know how to create. They don't have an artistic flair. Like I don't. I really don't. I'm not artistic at all. Everything is very dry cut for me. So it's a really good tool because it has so many different, images and videos, or editing tools that I can use for my videos, or I can edit an image into it. So there's different packages to it. You can do the free version for as long as you want, and you can like use it for infographics. Or you can use it to create an ebook, or you can use it to create, templates and brochures for your business. They have tons of templates that you can use that are cookie cutter style, and you can pick what you want, or you can design something from scratch from it and use their stock photos as well. So K-Post is a platform that takes your account to like kind of the next step for when it comes to content marketing. They have fantastic pieces of content from different buyers personas. So what I like about this particular one is that the content that you get from this, you can add in your social media into it. And if you like a particular content, what you can do is you can customize that content, and it won't take away from the original post. It has the original post, and it has your information in it, and you can schedule it where it goes out to, it gets posted out like how you use Hootsuite, but you can have it posted out ongoingly into your social media as well. That was it. No. Google Analytics is my daily routine. So every morning when I get to my desk, the first thing I do is I open Google Analytics for all of our clients, and I look at everyone's reports. I do it either on a Monday basis, or I do it on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday basis, depending on what we have going on for that particular client. Google Analytics gives you all the data and information about your website. Okay, you build it in the back end of your website. It's a small little link. If you have a WordPress site, you can have a plugin built in there, and you just put the code in there. If you don't have that, you can have it add into the header or the body, where it collects all the data about who goes on your website. Why is this important? Because back long time ago, when we would advertise in magazines and newspaper, we wouldn't know how people interacted with our ads, and how did they end up on our website? Did they end up in their store? Did they come in because they looked at ads on the 45th page of InStyle magazine, or whatever that is? We didn't know that, but that information is now available to us. We know that if we advertised a post on Facebook, or if we put a post on Facebook, it drew 6 people on our website. Out of the 6 people that came to our website, 4 had put a product into their shopping cart, and 2 have bought. That information is gold. It's very valuable, because now we can go back and say, well, I should post on social media more and spend less in advertising, or vice versa. Analytics gives you data about who your customer is, how old are they, what are they coming from. We can get as nitty-gritty detailed into the location, whether which city it is, which area of that particular city it is, which street it is. We can get as much information as possible from Google Analytics. We can see if they came from Facebook, if they came from our ads, or they came direct. We can see which pages they've gone to. We can see the flow of them between the pages. And if you have an e-commerce built, you can see how much money they spent in there, how much do they shop, how many products they put in their shopping cart and abandon the shopping cart. That data is super important, because then you can remarket your product back to the people that left things in the shopping cart. So if you don't take anything from this presentation, the one thing you should take is Google Analytics. Is super important. Build it into your website. If you don't know how, give us a call. We can help you out, and monitor your reports ongoingly. This is so important. Zendesk is a CRM system built with so many different things built into it, which I'll go through right now. So it's an aggregated for all of your communication. It's an aggregation of all of your communication channels, built with how you want your clients to feel and what you want to give away to your clients, built in emails, phone calls, chats, and then you can integrate other tools into it. You can integrate Sprout into it. You can integrate Hootsuite into it. It's your CRM. It has everything. You can write an article or pick an article from Spout and post it, email it to only particular clients, and you can schedule it that it goes out at 5 p.m. or every other day at 5 p.m. You can schedule it where on Tuesdays it sends a post to your Twitter, on Wednesday sends a post to your Facebook. There's so many things you can do with it. If you don't want to buy the main version, definitely try to get the trial version. Just sign up and play around with it. I always say all of these accounts, set up an account for yourself and try to break it. That's when you learn things about it. And then you can see if this is something that you do want to use for your business or not. So I'm a big fan of live chat. If you go to our website, we have a chat bot built into our site. Ours is called Drift. What happens is if you're on our website and you do it, you start chatting with us, we will get a message. We get a message on our phone and it says, you can't say, oh, there you go, you can see it. And it says so-and-so is on your website. I've had 2 clients just this past month that were on our website. They were potential clients that were roaming around, and one asked a question and the other one was asking if he can meet up with me. And I was like, yeah, of course. And then the conversation kept on going on that chatbot. And I ended up picking up both clients because they were so impressed with the fact that there was someone on the other side of the chatbot. Live chat is a really cool tool. It has an app as well. So you can, as soon as you attach it to your site, you can chat with people if they're on your website asking questions. Why is that important? Well, because if they're on your website, they're there for a reason. They're interested or they found you based on the keywords that they looked for. So it would be like they walked into your store and you want to say, hey, how are you? What's happening? How can I help you? And then, keep that conversation going. I absolutely hate when people set up automated chatbots, mainly because it's so unpersonal. Secondly, because any question, you can't predict what the next person is going to say. There's only so much you can predict. And then it becomes really embarrassing when they ask the question and the chatbot is answering something completely different. So try to find chatbots that are useful and they have an app or they have a desktop app that you can use. For this particular one, I always go with the one that has it on my phone. So even if I'm not available in front of my computer, I can still talk to them. So we're going to get to the best part of this presentation, which is Holly. Holly and I have partnered up. Holly represents a big portion of our business, and I actually like the way she works. She's very ethical and she's very funny. She was making me laugh hysterically this morning. So I'm going to pass over to Holly. Take it over, girl.
Awesome. Thank you. Every time I listen to your presentation, I swear I learn a new thing. Like I've been through this a couple times. I know most of these platforms and I'm like, oh, I didn't know you could use it for that. I love it. Okay. So we're going to answer a whole bunch of questions at the end. So we will go through the chat again. So please put your questions in the chat. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to, hopefully you guys can see that. So you guys are now over here. Can everybody see my screen? Hopefully, yeah, good, awesome. All right, so I'm Holly. I'm the founder of Creative Solutions. Hopefully I can live up to my humor that Miriam has said that I have. I have one goal, I have one team basically and countless possibilities. So we basically our main focus is business strategy. So we look at overall business operations, finance, marketing, messaging, sales, and we make sure that it all works as efficient as possible. And then we have a fulfillment side of it, which we do website design development, which Miriam does as well. We attract definitely different clients, but what we specialize in is graphic design and social media management for businesses. So that's a bit about us. At the end of this, we'll say basically, let's open up all the questions. We'll both answer back and forth. We can have a huge discussion on any tools that you thought of as well. So if there's anything that you know of that we haven't mentioned, we'd love to hear your opinion. So this is just, I'm going to go through a few steps. This is going to be really focused on social media. So tools that make your social media better, faster, and easier. So I'm going through the planning of the content first. So the biggest thing that people say to me is, I have no idea what to post. No idea. I'm so lost. That happens a lot. That's okay. There's some tools that we can do to help organize all of that though. So once you can think of, I'll go through what to post as well. So there are tools to help you just organize this content in general. There's one tool called Trello. It's basically, I don't know if you can tell, but it's basically like little Post-it notes. So let's say we have a whole bunch of educational posts that we thought about or found. on the internet or we created ourselves, we can actually go and put them in here. So we can put links in here, and these are all individual post-it notes. So let's say this says educational, entertaining, engaging, and this says posted already. So you can actually drag and drop these over to go posted. I've posted that one, or I posted this one. You could also change the way that this is structured in the columns, and you could have Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, blogs. So all types of different ways that you can organize it. This is just one tool that you can do. You can even do it by month as well. So let's say you want a theme each month. You can have, I guess June will be coming up next. So you can have June of all the ideas here, July, August, and so on. Tons of different ways to organize it. There's another option called Google Slides if you guys have a Google account. This here, we basically we started with Google Slides and we started getting into Trello. We've used a couple other tools as well. But the way we organize it is all different. So we have team members that we all come with the great content, but we all do it so differently. So we'll kind of go over that as well and how they would do it and how I would do it differently as well. So something like Google Slides, you could have, let's say, your topic. So like your educational, entertaining, engaging, which we'll get into. You could have the copy that you want to write. You could have a link here. If you have to mention someone that actually wrote the article or has the image, if you want to mention it in your post, you can say whether you've written a blog about it or you posted on your blog. Tons of ideas that you can work through here. So you can post, 3 to 4 times a week, which would be great. If you start posting 7 times a week, we actually said before, post 7 times a week every day. But with the algorithm for Instagram and Facebook, it is best to post 3 to 4 times a week. If it's Twitter, you can post 20 times a day. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have the algorithm that the rest of them do. So go crazy with Twitter if you use it. So Google Slides is another way to organize your content. If you guys have a Google My Business page, if you have a physical location, Google, so when you Google your name on the right-hand side, it has like a little box and has some images and reviews and your address. That's an actual social media platform now. So you can actually post to Google as a Google My Business page. If you don't know how to do that, literally just Google it. Google how to Google on Google My Business page. And you can post things there. It lasts for 7 days. You can have events. You can have regular content like images or videos or blog posts, for instance. You can post those things to Google, and it actually helps with your ranking on Google as well. So that is pretty awesome. It used to be called Google Plus, but Google Plus was horrendous, so they changed it and made it better. So it's actually living within your Google My Business page now. Another option is just Word document. So let's say you want to have campaigns and you'd rather not think about the nitty-gritty of the daily posts right now. You just want to think big picture. You can just create a little chart in Word, a little chart, and you basically can put your campaign idea. So let's say you have a business that is like an app for people with autism, for instance. Maybe, August is Autism Awareness Month. So that's when you want to start putting in things that are relevant to your business, that is also relevant to your audience. So maybe your audience hopefully all has something to do with autism if you are an app that is for people with autism. And you want to look at all other types of other special cognitive needs or months or days of the year, things like that. So you want to put those in as campaign ideas. And maybe, January, you want to do a big launch or a big sale, or February, you want to reach out to strategic partners. March, you want to get on more podcasts, as being interviewed on more podcasts. These are also campaign ideas that you can create blogs out of as well. So if you think about in February, what is my main goal or my main campaign that I'll talk about in February, then you start breaking it down to your 3 E's, educational, entertaining, engaging. And that's the type of post that you'll do to come back to your overall campaign idea. So hopefully that made sense. It's a lot of information, and you will maybe need a nap after all of this because Miriam and I give you so much information. And if you have any questions, definitely ask it again. Another idea that you can use to create content is what we do, actually. A lot of us do this, is create a little sheet here, like a Word document, and we put down Monday through Sunday. So we decide afterwards what days of the week we're going to post for clients. But what we'll do is write down Monday through Sunday and start coming up with some really popular hashtags that are already out there for Mondays, for instance. So Mindset Monday, Motivation Monday, Meatless Monday. There's a ton of Monday-specific hashtags out there that if you just Google or search in Instagram, for instance, you'll find all these hashtags. So some of the hashtags will have nothing to do with you and your business. Totally great. But let's say they do. So then you'll start thinking, oh, Motivation Monday is actually a really good one that I'd like to motivate our clientele or our followers. I definitely want to have a post going out on Monday knowing it's going to be a very educational, entertaining, or engaging post for Motivation Monday. And it goes on from there. Like there's Throwback Thursday, Thankful Thursday, TGIF, thank God it's Friday, Family Friday, Feature Friday. Feature Friday, we actually do a lot. We have, we basically feature our clients. So we do Feature Friday. For every single Friday, we do a new client. So they either have done a testimonial video for us, or we've showed them, you know, before and afters for logos, for instance, or what we're doing for someone for a big event or social media, and we feature them. So that may be a really good one for you guys as well. If you're super into cats, there's one on Saturday called Catterday. Don't know, I'm not so much. So, but if you are and you want that on your social media, it's a fantastic one. And if you're not sure what else is being posted with these, you can go to Instagram or Twitter, for instance, and search these hashtags, and then you'll see all the other posts that are coming up for that hashtag. You can also search your competitors and what hashtags that they're using to see if it's ones that you feel are going to be good for you as well. All right, moving on. Tools that generate content for you. So you don't have to create all the stuff yourself, but if you want to, there's other tools that we'll get into as well. And Miriam, I know, has gone over a couple too. So tools for actually generating content. All of these are hyperlinked, so you guys will get this presentation and the video, and it'll be on Miriam's website as well as a download. But all of these are hyperlinked, so they all go directly to the websites for each of these. Let's say you have a bunch of content that you're thinking about based on your monthly campaign ideas. These websites here are ways that you can just generate content for yourself. So Google Alerts is a really easy, good one. It's free, totally free. You put in some keywords, and you can get emails sent to you daily or weekly. And it basically gives you all of the different articles that have been written over the entire internet and sends right to your inbox. And you're like, thank you, internet. I now have 50 articles that I could post or schedule for my social media. So if you have links, for instance, this is great for Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. But if you have links for these that are blogs, for instance, that go to someone else's website, then Instagram wouldn't be the greatest platform for that, because you can't actually put a link in an Instagram post. So when you're getting this content, just sort of picture where you're going to post it. Quora is another one. It's a listening tool, and it's a forum. So Quora, Medium, and Reddit are all three exactly the same. People ask questions there, and other people answer those questions. Some people, what they'll do is they'll answer the question partway, and then they'll say, for the rest of the tips, click here and go back to my website, which also helps with your ranking and your SEO. So Medium, Quora, and Reddit are three fantastic sites to actually look for people asking questions, so that you can either answer the questions for them and bring them back to your site. It's not necessarily a posting tool. You can post to it, but it's more for questions. I would use those three as social listening tools. So people ask questions, you happen to know the answer, it might be a great opportunity for you to actually write a blog or create posts around that, knowing people are already asking those questions, and you happen to have the answer. Google News is very similar to Google Alerts. It has by category, so you can get notifications through that. Giphy or Jiffy, depends on how you say it, potato. That is a great place to get really silly content from if that's part of your business as well. BuzzSumo is another one that it's more on the digital side, but it does have a lot of great content. Pocket is another, and Content Gems is a really cool one, actually. Content Gems used to only be for Twitter, but now it's for all, and it's a really, really great tool to actually aggregate that content and get it sent to you as well. Feedly is another. I think Miriam mentioned Feedly too. It's sort of another one of those tools that you can set up. You can even set these up as RSS feeds if you want to get all crazy and technical. That might be a bit much for all of us, so calm down for a sec. But these ones, if you just go look at every single one and put in some keywords and start tracking and getting them sent to you so you can get content on an ongoing basis, that's the best way to do it. Now I'm going to get super technical for a second, so hold on. Okay, if you're using Google Chrome, hopefully everybody is, because I can't stand Firefox or Explorer or anything else. If you are using Google Chrome has these things called extensions. They're fantastic. So they make things a lot easier for you to do things. So what we'll do, for instance, if you have a scheduling tool for social media, you can have Buffer, you can have Hootsuite, there's a whole bunch of them which we'll go over. So let's say you have a Hootsuite account, and you have Hootsuite set up to post on Twitter or Facebook once a day or once a month, let's say once a week, that's more, yeah, once a week. What will happen is, let's say you put the Google Chrome extension for Hootsuite, which is called a Hootlet, in Google Chrome. Now when you get those emails from like Google Alerts or from Quora, Medium, or Content Gems, you can get those alerts sent to your email. If you open your email within Google Chrome, the extension triggers. So the extension is like, wait a second, these are articles. Do you want these articles to be automatically scheduled into Hootsuite? And you're like, thank you, Hootlet guy. And then you hit the little guy, and it immediately schedules it in sequence in your Hootsuite. So now you're just shoving content into Hootsuite to be scheduled through Google Chrome extensions. That was a lot of information. If you have questions about that later, call me. But it is quite easy once you set it up, and it actually does it all for you. It's just the idea of setting it all up is the harder part. So let's get into tools for creating your own content. Someone else has created some stuff for you. You've been scheduling them in. Let's do your own stuff now. So one tool that I'm not affiliated with at all, but I should definitely have shares in, is called Canva. Canva is my baby. I am obsessed with Canva. It can create everything from flyers, brochures, cover images, social media posts and stories, animated posts, embedded videos. It literally creates everything for you, and it's already pre-sized. And you have already templated stuff too. And you can add your own logo to it, your own brand colors. It's amazing. The only kind of crappy part about it is you don't necessarily, if you don't really know a lot about design, for instance, and you're using all the templates, there's a lot of other people as well that are using similar templates. So make sure you make it your own, as Simon Cowell would say, make it your own. But make sure that you're actually like adding your own logo or your own fonts or your own colors to it, so it actually looks like your posts for your actual social media pages. Others that you can use are, for Instagram, for instance, you can't actually repost anybody's post. You can repost a story if they've tagged you in it. You could share a post to your story, or you could share a post to someone directly, but you can't actually repost it on Instagram. You have to have another app called Repost app. So let's say you find some really great content that you ask permission to use in Instagram. This is a great Motivational Monday post. Would you mind if I actually share it with my people as well? I'll make sure to tag you. Then you can save it. So there's like 3-4 things on Instagram on a post. You'll see a little heart, you'll see the comment, and you'll see this arrow, and then you'll see on the other side this little flag, and that's the one you save. So you can save it and for reposting. Then when you're ready to actually repost it, you have to have a repost app and do exactly what it says to do. There's other ones called WordSwag. It's similar to Canva a little bit. It's more of a phone app, whereas Canva, to me, I like to use it on my computer. I don't really like the phone app version. So WordSwag is quite similar to Canva. It's pre-templated. You basically throw some dice and the word scramble, all the words you put in there, and it looks different every time you scramble the words, let's say. So Instaspacer is one that we use a lot for creating. Ever see those breaks when you're looking at someone's post and you see a bunch of blur, blah, 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 and then a new paragraph, and a new paragraph, and then a bunch of hashtags, and it's all spaced out? You can't really do that. There's a couple different ways to do that, but we use Instaspacer. It's the best one that we found. Instead of like, if you type everything right in Instagram or a scheduling tool, it smushes it all together when you go to actually post it. Place It is amazing. Okay, it's like $30 a month or something for unlimited use. But if you took like a screenshot of a website, or if you have a t-shirt that you want to sell, but you don't really want to print it right away, you can mock up. There's tons and tons and tons of different things to mock up. So that coffee mug right there, I could actually just throw a logo on that instead of using Photoshop. Place It already gave me that image, and I can just place a logo right on it because it moves it around too. There's videos. So let's say you have a t-shirt that you want to put a logo on and you want to show a client. That picture could also be a video. So the actual logo on the shirt will be moving with the actual person in the video. It's crazy. Place It's really super cool. Flipagram, we don't use as much anymore, but it's another one of those Canva pre-templated things that's more of a phone app. That's why there's no hyperlink to it, because they have to like download it from your app store. Videorama, if you ever want to make really quick videos or splice videos together, or put words on top of a video, or make like a bunch of images into a slideshow, Videorama is awesome for that. And it's I use the paid version. It's not very expensive. It's like a couple bucks a month. PictoChart is one for infographics specifically. So if you want to create an infographic and you don't really want to figure it all out, you can use Canva, but there's also PictoChart, and one that Mary mentioned as well. And Be Funky is another templated one that's a little bit on the funkier side, really cool images that are already there. We don't use it as much, but it's definitely good for some of our clients. Evergreen blog content. So as you're creating blogs, I don't know if you guys are writing blogs or not, tell us after as well. If you are writing blogs, great. It's really good for your SEO as well. You've done your keyword research, you're putting them on your website, and you want to drive people back to your website. At the end of the blog, hopefully you have something where it's like a call to action where you want them to do next. The awesome part about blogs is now you have a lot of information that you can use as social media posts. So there's tons of different ways. Evergreen just really means there's not a specific time date stamped, and it's not like, you know, do your taxes for 2018 and now you can never use that blog again. So make sure your blogs are timely. So you can create images for that for social media. You can do Place It. You can do a Loom video, for instance. If you want to show your screen and you talking and going over the tips, you can record your screen showing them through Loom, for instance, just you talking and showing your screen at the same time. You can add the video that you just recorded then to IGTV and to possibly YouTube or Vimeo, and you can embed that video on your website as well. So lots of ideas. Some might resonate, some might not. It's okay. And like I said, you might get nap after all of this because there's definitely a lot of information. If it's a list, let's say top 5 reasons why something, you can create a carousel post. So you can create actual 5 images with each of those tips. You can create cover page, 5 reasons why. Number 1, 2, 3, so 6 images in total. And you can have that swipe on Instagram. You can schedule the post as well. You can schedule that blog in things like Hootsuite and Buffer, and it can automatically get posted to your social media platforms, especially like Twitter, for instance, or LinkedIn or Facebook on an ongoing basis. If you have products, this is the best way to get content that you did not have to do yourself. So it's called user-generated content. You have to really have a plan around it, but this is why it's awesome for your brand. It promotes authenticity, it creates trust and showcases brand loyalty, and it drives the purchasing decision. So if I was a possible consumer, I would want to see that other people are also using your products or services, kind of. You can kind of use it for services, definitely for products though. So have a plan around it. The best way to really show that your product's in action is to have real people doing it. So stuff like pictures, videos, testimonials, actual social media posts, blog posts, anything you can do that will have the audience, the people that your customers showcase what they're doing with your products is the best thing to do. The way that you really plan it out is you plan ahead. So you really want to understand how you're going to use it and market it, and you want them to know as well. So one thing you can do is, as you're mailing stuff out, throw a little slip, a little paper in there, or a postcard or a business card, pretty inexpensive to print, or a sticker that says, we'd love to see your content. Tag us on social media. Use this specific hashtag and we'll find you. That way you're able to you already have permission for it, but you want to double check. And you can use that content now because you planned ahead and you've actually been able to now market it. So create a hashtag and monitor the posts. Find the content on social media platforms because they're going to tag you anyway, or you can search for the hashtag. Comment on the post and ask if you can share on social, which you pretty much have permission anyway, but just to double check, save the image to a library. One thing that usually people do is they go, awesome, I have this great unboxing of my product. They post it on social media once and then they forget about it. You want to use that on an ongoing basis. So save it to a library or like a Google folder or something so that you're able to then share it again later. This is a great example of how it's being used at a specific hashtag. She's gone in, she's tried something on. It could be in their house unboxing something, but you want to really showcase that this is the thing you want them to do, which is tag you on social and use this specific hashtag. There's some really fantastic free stock photo places. These are all hyperlinked as well, so you'll get this. Okay, Unsplash is by far my favorite, for sure. Unsplash has everything we've ever needed. They are super clean images. Every single one of these websites are all royalty-free commercial use. So just double check in case there's one in there, and I don't want to be the one to say. Just double check it actually says, commercial-free, royalty-free commercial use. Pexels is another one we use a lot, and Raw Pixels. So fantastic ones up here. I went through them again just recently to make sure that they're actually still all in business, and they are. So tools for scheduling. Facebook has its own scheduler. So if you have a Facebook business page, which hopefully you all do, you can schedule directly on Facebook. Instead of hitting the word post while you're there, you just hit the word schedule instead. If you're trying to do everything from your phone, I recommend that you download the app, which is called Facebook Pages Manager. So if you've ever tried to manage your Facebook page from your regular Facebook app, the blue one, you're going to see when you're trying to comment, when you're trying to post, when you're trying to respond or like a post, sometimes it's you doing it, sometimes it's your business page doing it. You can never tell. But if they have the Facebook Pages app, Pages Manager app, that way you can only do it from your business. So if you want to respond to people, it's never coming from you, it's always from your business. Facebook Creator Studio is another one that you can post directly, apparently, to Instagram and to Facebook through Creator Studio. It's a separate app, use it on a computer. It's been very buggy for us, but it's been really great for some other people. So I would sort of test it out. I wouldn't count on it, but I'd test it out. The most popular ones are Hootsuite, Buffer, and Later. Those three are the most popular. They're fairly inexpensive and or free, depending on what you get. They've been okay for us. We wanted definitely a different type of usability for us, but those have been fine. We just sort of got away from them. So Hootsuite is probably the number one that I hear people use, and Buffer, then Later. They're all supposed to be scheduling directly to Instagram as well, but sometimes there's glitches, and sometimes API key breaks, and you have to reconnect it. OnlyPulse is a paid version for Instagram only, and it does have a really good analytics tool. Plannable is one if you need someone else to approve and you want them to be able to make comments and actually hit approve and schedule. That's a decent one that we use. So remember I was saying that all of our team members have different ways to gather content for each of the different clients. We all do it differently, but I have a blog from November that is basically, they just dumped it all out. They said, this is exactly how I get content for each of the clients. This is my method. This is how I do it. It's super interesting to read because they all do it a little differently, but we all come to the same result. So it's super interesting. I was quite fascinated when I read it myself. But some of the stuff might really resonate with you and go, wow, that's exactly what I would do, but I didn't think of it that way. So have a read of that. This will be in the presentation, and it'll also be on Miriam's website too. So just as a quick reminder, content, so as you're creating the content, we say that content, well, Jay Bear said it as well, content is fire and social media is gasoline. So social media is not end all be all with your marketing campaigns. You should have tons of different ways to market. Social media is just one other way to reach your audience. If you don't have the content, you can't have the fire. Social media is a way to really blast your information out there and to connect with your audience on a really human level. That's the whole point of the social word in social media. All right, so we're gonna bring you guys back. And if you have any questions specifically, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen and we're all gonna chat it out. So stop share. And I do see, it says, Holly, your audio is breaking up. That's not good.
It was still a really good presentation. I learned a lot.
Okay, good. So yeah, internet has been funny. Okay, so you could still hear, but it was breaking up. Okay, cool. So there are some questions in here now. I'm just going to go through. So someone loves Canva, yay. I answered a really basic question. Okay, awesome. So the free stock photos were good. All right, cool. So does anybody have any specific questions for Miriam and I? You guys don't have to come on video. You can just open your microphone up if you do, or just type it in the chat here. No questions? This is amazing.
We did good.
I guess we covered everything, or else everybody did nap now. So
yes, definitely. At DT, we can totally connect on LinkedIn. But okay, so I have a rule. If you connect with me on LinkedIn, you have to actually chat with me on LinkedIn. It can't just be like just a dry connect. I need conversation. Where does someone start if you're just opening a business? Oh, that's a good one. So where does someone start if you're just opening a business? That's a really good question. I feel like it's a conjunction between what Holly and I have said. I think one of the main things I would recommend is to have your plan. And once you have that plan, then you can go over the plan and kind of figure out what are the things that you will need for your business, because your business is so customized to you and your target audience. And that plan allows you to kind of map where you're going and who you're talking to. And then based on that, you can kind of figure out, okay, well, how much social media presence do I need to have? And what tools work for that? Do I need a website? If you are opening a business, you do need a website. But what do I need to put in that website? Can I just get away with having just a landing page till I, realistically can afford to build a proper website? All of that is super important. So I say the plan, and Holly, what are your thoughts? I think you need to have like a business plan, a marketing plan, and then move from there on.
Yeah, I'd say business plan for sure. That should really outline things like your target market, which we would call personas. So you'd want to get deeper into who your personas are, who your actually low hanging fruit would be to be able to contact them. Look at what you have to offer as a service or a product right off the bat, and then future plans and goals. But your target audience will be the thing that will direct you where you should be marketing. So once you figure out who your personas are, you look at where they're motivated, where they're influenced, what types of wording should I use, what colors would be more apt, or have them more apt to trust you and to buy from you. The website is definitely a must. Google My Business page is definitely a must, especially if you have a regular location. When it comes to budgeting, it really depends on what you're going to do for your marketing in order to reach that audience. So once you have your business plan, you start to look at, okay, how am I going to scale this? If you have an idea of making, let's say, $3,000 a month for the first 6 months, what do you need to do in order to make that $3,000 a month for the 6 months? And then what's your next step after there? So if you want to have a 6-month plan, another 6-month plan, how do you scale that other 6 months? What do you have to do in those first 6 months in order to reach the targets, to have enough money to plan for the next 6 months? So it's a very loaded question for sure. But it's definitely something that the plan is the number one thing. What do I have to sell? Who's my persona, my target audience, and how am I going to reach those people in order to convert? And there's, once you even launch that, there's tons of other stuff that you have to do in order to pivot, or in order to change direction depending on how you are, how you're going. And if you're doing surveys and you're asking your people what they like, there's so much more to it.
So my other input on how much the budget is, we work with York Region Small Business Enterprise, and one of the most incredible things that they do, and I mean you can do that with at the chamber level as well, is they'll work with you to put together your business plan. And one of the important factors of that business plan is your budgeting. And they'll work on every sector of your business and every section of your business and what needs to happen. And sometimes what they'll do is they share a sample of someone else's business plan that they have approved to be shared. And then you can look at, well, how did they go ahead? They went forward with their business plan and the cost that was associated with that. I would definitely reach this York Region Small Business Enterprise and ask them, because they have really good tools they can use.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, good plug for them for sure.
Oh, Lauren said the same thing.
Yeah.
You book an appointment with York. Yeah, they're really good when it comes to this stuff. You're right. There's no cost to them. And the other thing is that sometimes when you reach out to them, there may or may not be funding available for grants that you could be eligible for. So it doesn't hurt to get in touch with them.
For sure.
How to measure success and what are the expected metrics of social media? That's a good question.
So for us, it's setting those goals. So, you know, a lot of people will say, I want to make $3,000 a month. That's my goal. And that's what social media, my goal is for that too. That's not necessarily true. That could be your overall business goal. Then you have a marketing goal and sales goal. And then you have your other goals for the other initiatives that you're going to run, which could be a social media, for instance. So once you set your goals for social media or marketing, for instance, it could be more awareness, drive back to the website. You know, you have to have specific key performance indicators, KPIs, but those goals are what's going to be able to allow you to measure. So if you're setting goals, that is the way to measure those goals. So it's a very loaded question as well. You're asking some hard questions there, which is great.
So one of the reasons why I said take that one thing from this is to put together your analytics. Gerv, is that Google Analytics gives you so many different ways to measure your success, whether it's from your, you know, if you are posting on social media, you'll be able to see how many people have came to your website, or you can vice versa, go back and look at your social to see, you know, exactly what Holly said. Did you meet your goals? If your goal was to bring, you know, more traffic to your post or engagement, did you reach those goals? So analytics plus the metrics that are available through Facebook and Instagram will be able to give you a bit of an indication as to what you're doing correct and what it's not working. But as Holly said, that is a loaded question, and there's so many key factors that you need to we need to know what your business is and what works for you and who your target audience are.
Yeah, like people have goals for social media that is just, you know, build trust, for instance. So the way to build trust is to showcase like user-generated content or ways that you could show that you actually instill trust in someone else, for instance, or they've instilled trust in you. So the goals that you would set for your marketing shouldn't necessarily have your overall goals in play or your marketing goals in play. They're specific to each of the platforms or each of the ways you're going to market. So if you send out a mailer, for instance, to 10,000 homes, you have to have it measurable. What is your goal for those, and how are you going to measure it to see if it actually works or not for you? So it's the same thing with social. Yeah. All right, so we're a few minutes over. I think we're going to end it there. Marianne will send me the link. She'll have everything on the website.
Next few minutes, you'll have it.
Yeah, and then we'll send everything around to you guys. If you have any questions moving forward, you know where we are. Our information is going to be on the slide decks, as well as you can find us on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere, all over the place. So thank you guys for coming, and
thanks.
See you soon.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.